So today we're playing Starfield with the RTX 3050, and to start it off we're playing the game at 1080p at the lowest settings. And here we are with the settings. I'm not going to be using FSR to begin with, but towards the end of the video I'll be using FSR as well. Alright, now for this video I'm going to be in the early areas of the game to avoid any spoilers if anyone cares about that. Alright, let's get going. So far we're sitting in the 40s / the low 50s. It's not great, but with FSR should be able to save it to 60 FPS. Because it's only 20 FPS away anyway. But in heavier scenes, FSR can't save us. Alright, we're going to go indoors for this one. It would seem like it's not too intensive, but if you see fire, the FPS will be hit quite a bit. So let me show you right now. There we go. And the FPS falls as low as the low 30s. So yeah, this game is very intensive all around. And even at 1080p, lowest settings, we can fall easily below 60 FPS. So I think for this video, I'm going to be targeting two presets. There's going to be a 30 FPS mode like the consoles, where we'll be at a higher preset, and a 60 FPS mode, where the game will be at a low preset, but at a higher frame rate. And you guys can decide on what you like and what you want to go with. Alright, let's move on to New Atlantis and see what this card does there. That's the most important part. There we go, guys. New Atlantis sitting in the low 30s. And from experience, this isn't exclusive to this area. I've been to different hubs on different planets, and the FPS can fall easily into the 30s and the low 40s as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's not exclusive to this section. Alright, medium settings. There we go with that. What are we thinking, guys? 30 to 40 FPS now? 40 FPS. It's not too bad, to be honest. It was a slight decrease from the low settings. But let's go ahead and head on down to the main base down there and see what the FPS is there, because normally it does fall quite a bit. So I'm guessing 35 FPS, 32 FPS, maybe down there. Now I think for me personally, I would go with a 30 FPS mode and have the graphics at least up to the high preset. Because low settings and trying to get 60 FPS, I don't know. Doesn't really seem worth it to me, but it will depend on you, I guess. Alright, down here we're sitting in the high 30s, but our lowest was around 36, I think, on the way down. So it's not too bad, but at the same time, not great either. Alright, indoors, we're going to for sure fall below 30 FPS with the fire. That's a guarantee. But so far we're sitting in the 70s and the low 90s. Here we go. Okay, 26 FPS. 24 FPS even. Wow. That is a cinematic experience, that's for sure. Yeah, indoors it's not too bad to be honest, but the fire does kill the performance quite a bit. So if you can avoid that, then it's playable, I guess. New Atlantis. 30 FPS. This will fall into the mid-20s, I think. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Get out of the way, idiot. Never mind, 30 FPS. Okay. Okay, never mind. It's actually falling into the mid-20s now. So yeah, trash performance, like you guys expected. Let's go up to the high settings now and see what this card can do there. And here we are with that. 38 FPS at the high settings. So we lost, I think, 6 FPS. So I'm thinking for the 30 FPS mode, to go with the high settings at 1080p, use FSR, and that should hopefully give us a stable 30 the entire way through. Alright, indoors, let's see how far we can make the FPS fall. Here we go. Okay, 26, 25. So it's a bit worse versus the medium settings, but not by much. Alright, we got a couple guys to kill over here real quick, and then we can move on to New Atlantis, which will be exciting. What are we all thinking? I'm guessing 23 FPS there. Oh my god, that is insane. 21 FPS with the explosion. That's crazy. New Atlantis. 22 FPS. I was close. I said 23, I think. But a 20s experience in this section. So we need to get 10 FPS extra to have a 30 FPS experience at the high settings with FSR enabled. That should be doable. Alright, let's pause the game here, reset, and let's try to get 60 FPS with this card at 1080p. Alright, for the 60 FPS mode, I'm going for the lowest settings at 1080p, FSR enabled, at 50% resolution scale. This will look like crap, but hopefully get 60 FPS most of the time. Alright, that's a good sign. 70 FPS, almost into the 80s. The graphics aren't great, The game is looking pretty soft and blurry in the distance, but it feels very fluid. Very smooth and very fluid at this point. But you're sacrificing a lot to get this kind of frame rate. And even then, this might fall below 60 still in heavy areas, because this area is quite light, as you guys already know. 62 FPS. Oh my god, that's getting really close to our limit. Alright, let's go indoors. See if the fire makes us fall below 60. I'm guessing that it might. Here we go. 60 FPS. Thank god we can hold 60 here at least. The smoke effect, the fire effect looked kind of smeary as it was going up. So keep that in mind. The graphics are pretty bad. But performance wise, we held 60. So if that's all you care about, you can do it. Please, 60 FPS. We can't do it. 50 FPS in New Atlantis still. Come on. That is just pathetic. Again, the image looks very soft. A lot of smearing as well, as you can see around this guy right here. We tried, but 60 FPS can't be hit at all times. But at the same time, this area is only a hub. You're not doing much here, there's no action. So getting 50 FPS is not too bad. But for how much you're losing in quality, I would personally avoid using this preset. Okay, for the 30 FPS mode, we're going for a mix of medium and high settings with some low in there as well, using FSR at 65%. So with this one, you can get above 30 obviously in most areas, but for New Atlantis and in those heavy situations, 30 FPS is about what you're going to be getting. So yeah, a 30 FPS cap is ideal here, and using a keyboard and mouse is not the move. Use a controller, the game will feel better and more consistent as well. So yeah, at a mix of medium and high settings, the game is sitting in the mid 40s and the low 50s. Alright, indoors. Let's just run it down. Get to that fire real quick. That's what we care for anyway. And see what the 3050 can do. Here we go. 33 FPS was the lowest there. But on average, it's sitting in the mid to high 30s / the low 40s. New Atlantis. We are sitting in the mid 30s and the low 30s. There we go. That's why I would use a 30 FPS cap. So you don't have to experience falling from the 50s and 40s into the low 30s. Again, you guys have two options. Either go for a quality mode at 30 FPS or a performance mode where it's 60 most of the time, but it can fall into the 40s and 50s in heavy areas. I think I would personally go with this one at 30 FPS high settings and use a controller. The game will look decent and play mostly well as well. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.